Buenas, buenas. Welcome to IMSTA FESTA Atlanta. I'm Kevin Ochoa, and today we're taking a look at how to use Spire in the context of a track. I made a feature-based track, and we're going to be breaking down not the individual parts per se, but I'm going to be showing you some of the features inside Spire, like the new preset menu, the stepper, and the arpeggiator, which I do use throughout this track. So I'm going to show you how to build a track quickly as well. In the previous class, we covered how to make some cool sound design within Spire. And if you haven't watched that video, make sure you do so, because we cover really well how to create some cool basic sound design that we should all know, and it's applicable to very different genres. With this class, I'm going to show you basically, again, the preset menu, the updated modulations, so we can link modulations really quickly, unlike the previous version of Spire, which was a little bit more tedious. And I'm also going to show you how to quickly make a beat using Spire presets. So I'm going to play you guys this demo track right here. Oh, before I forget, make sure you guys look at the chat below to see if you guys are able to win any of the gifts we're giving out during IMSTA FESTA. So let's check out the demo track here. And as I'm playing back the track, I'll open up some Spire patches. Alright, there's the demo track. As you guys can see, it's filled absolutely with a bunch of spires. Basically, we're using it to create all the percussions, all the basses, all the leads. And most of these are presets that are included inside Spire. I did modify them a tiny bit so it could fit better within the context of this track. So let's go ahead and check out a new Spire instance so I can show you some of the new features inside Spire. Let's init this, and of course you only get a saw wave. Let me copy and paste some of the melodies here. Let's grab the melody and let's make a new pattern. Let's call it demo pattern. Press enter. I'm going to go into that piano roll for that Spire, and now we're going to look for some lead presets. Let's go over to the leads. I can pull up, let's say, this type of lead. Let's play some. And let me lower the output because it's going to be very loud. Oh, I have to press L to hop back into pattern mode. Let's go to this one, 2000. Let's go to neon. I like that one. So what we can do is we can copy this and paste it to a new folder that is our favorites folder, or a folder that you make yourself. For example, here I have some of the patches I made this year, or some that I liked. So I can quickly go back to the leads and say, hey, let's try this other one out. That one I don't like. Let's try out the virus V. Let's say I found that one very useful, so I can copy it and paste it to my 2020 bank quickly. And there I can pull it up. I could also click on this and mark this as a default preset if I like. I could also edit it. And if I were to modify the preset, I could now name it as my own. I could add a tag. If I turn this into a bass, I could name it a bass. If I added a sequence to this, I could also put sequenced and resave the preset if I like. I'm going to press cancel. We also have the ability to see presets via different organization methods like author, tag, and favorites. So it's a really cool new preset browser. I think the only other companies that have really cool preset browsers like this are the ones from Yuhi. They have amazing preset browsers. And yeah, like I just wish they had done this earlier so I could have maybe used more of the presets. So yeah, let's go over to the drums real quick and you'll see here. Skip those are distorted. So you see we have lots of high quality presets included with Spire. And now they're very easy to access. I can even use the search menu up here. So let's say I was looking for a hi-hat. There it is. Likewise, if I was in the leads and I was looking for that old virus patch that I liked, I can just click virus and there we go. And I can quickly load those favorite presets again. Let's hop back into the demo track for a second. And I'm going to solo the drums. This plays back. So basically these are all presets. Now in a previous class I showed you how to make your own 808s and your own kick drums. So make sure you check that other class out. Now with this one I'm going to do something different. I'm going to simply save this track or this project. I'm going to hop into my template that I made for Spire. Okay, now that the whole project is loaded, I'm going to hop into a new pattern. And as you can hear, these are all just saw wave patches. So while I did create the template, I didn't really put patches in there. So let's go ahead and add some patches quickly. Let's go to drums. I like that kick drum. Let's go look for a snare. I actually really like that one. Let's get a clap in here. And for this one, I'm just going to remove the reverb. Or add just a tiny bit of it, but make it shorter. Because it decays too long in it. And also decrease it pretty late a little bit. There we go, now it's shorter. Let's go to the close hi-hat and add one. Sounds pretty cool. I do have to pump up the level of it on the fit a little bit. So let's go to drive. And I'm also going to pump up the output of the channel itself. Kind of quiet, but we can modify it later. I'm also going to open up a open hat. Again, this is pretty quiet, but I can fix the level up here. And let's finish this up with some toms. Let's go to drums again. And now the pinch envelope on that tom is a little too slow for my taste. So I'm going to hop into the envelope. And I'm going to change the slope. I'm also going to change the sustain a little bit. And make the tom itself a bit shorter. There we go. So now I can do a couple things. I can come to the sequencer. And because these are all percussion instruments, I can start sequencing things here. So let's go on the kick drum. And let's change this to 140 BPM. You can see how quickly I built a kit there. It only took us like about 2-3 minutes. Let's keep adding some stuff here. And let's make this a little bit longer. Let's try something about this long. Just one more. There we go. And let's add the claps right here. And if we are using FL Studio, we can right click on the pattern or the channel and select to fill each 2 steps. And I can quickly fill out some hi-hats. Let's go to the mixer. And let's pump with that mixer. Let's also add a limiter real quickly, because this is going to be very quiet. There we go. Okay. Let's hop back into the pattern itself. Opening the channel rack. And then we're going to swap that out for an open hat at the very end. Let's add some toms here. Oh, that was a ride. Tom is right here. And if I want to change the pitch of those toms, I can right click to go to the piano roll and change the actual note the tom is playing. Here we go. And that open hat stays playing too long, so I know for a fact I need to go and change the release on it. There you go. Let's go ahead and do that roll as well in the other pattern right here. And I can add the clap thing again here. But sometimes it's a little bit too much. And for the bass, we'll come over here to the drums. And we'll choose this one to finish up the beat. And what I'll do is I'll add a bit of distortion. And if I go to the second filter here, I can use Shaper. And at first we can't hear anything because the filter is actually distortion. A waste shaper. I can change the type of saturation or distortion I want here. So I can make this a foldback distortion. It's very aggressive. So we can either choose it and be a little bit more delicate. Or we can use the saturate. Just to saturate the sound. I'm going to do a little trick I usually do with basses to make them wide. Usually you don't want this to happen in the really low sections, but there's plugins out there that can help us mono the center or collapse the stereo to the center properly, like the mono filter from Nugent Audio. I'm going to select the third oscillator. And because it's turned off, I'm going to push up just a little bit of gain, and I'm going to select 2 voices. And you hear immediately there's a lot of distortion. So if you look at the spectrum here, you hear all this movement. So we're going to pitch this up 2 octaves, or 1 maybe. So now we hear that movement, but now with the deton, remember, as I said, it controls the beating between the different versions of the oscillator or voices. And now we can control the way it beats. Sorry about that, my mic. Let's go ahead and pass that through a filter. Low pass. And as you can see here, the pitch envelope on this 808 has a release on it. You can choose to remove it or not. I'm going to be even more delicate with the third oscillator. I'm going to bring it down even further. It also appears that we have a portamento going on. Let's set the glide to 12. Yeah, it's a weird portamento. Also, this is just an 808. We can make the kick be the punch. So we don't have to worry about the gliding effect. So let's go ahead and put this on the beat now. Right click on the piano to go to the piano roll, so we can add some melodic information to it. Let's make it pitch up around, not that high, maybe around G. And now we can add some notes to it. Now this 808's kind of a bit weak still. Like I said, go check out the other video so you guys can learn to make a really fat 808. And you see, that's how quickly it was to make a beat using Spire. And using presets included with Spire. We even took some time to modify some of those presets. Now, let me show you a couple of different other features inside Spire, like the stepper and the arpeggio. Let's hop over to that old track I had. And here we have that track. Let's play it. I actually have to unsolo everything first. Let's play it. So as you can hear there's a couple different instruments that do use the stepper and the arpeggiator. Of course, the little arps is using the arpeggiator. Though it's very simple in this case, if I click on that preset, if I hop over to the arp section, you'll see that's just playing unison up and down. So I can make it also go down if I like. I can change the octave range here. If I wanted to go up again. You can also do up, down 2. Random if you are making something like ambient music. And it still sounds very beautiful. Now if I go to step, now the stepper controls the notes that we're playing. I'm going to create a loop right here. So it's just using the MIDI from the ARP right there. So let me quickly mute the top notes. And this way we can focus on creating our own little sequence. If we use our scroll wheel on our mouse, we hop by 5. If we use the Shift, and scroll wheel, we change the number by 1 semitone. Those are so wrong. And I really like that sequence now. I can go ahead and change the gate on this. And also the swing. Or make it completely straight on the grid. I can also use a stepper to create modulation on the velocity. So if I want to make the second hits a bit louder, I could. So together with the envelope, we can control how long some certain notes sustain. And we can create very beautiful soundscapes and arpeggios really quickly. And what I'll do now is I'll show you guys the super saw filtered synths that I have here. Let me play the whole track. Let's pull that arp just a bit down. So those super saw synths is simply kind of like the super saw that I created in the other class, where I used both the 8-voice kind of JP8080 emulation and also 9-voice, so kind of like the Virus TI. And then the other important thing, of course, is the stepper. So with the stepper, let's solo this instrument. And hold on. I can control a few things. I can say, hey, I want to modulate using the matrix. I want to modulate certain parameters. So in this case, I'm modulating the oscillator 1 amp, oscillator 2 amp, and also the filter cutoff 1. So let's hear the sound without this modulation. Oh, I forgot I've automated this, so let me bring this down after it's raised. So this is very low pass synth. If I bring the cutoff back up, and if I modulate the amp as well, we get a lot of more movement. I'm going to hop back into the shaper itself. So here I'm in the stepper, And here there's a few different things. I can change this to be in mono mode. And I can also change the stepper time to slow down my modulations or speed them up. Let's go to 1/16. Let's go to 132. And that's too quick for this track, so let's slow it down. And this is good to show you guys the example. Let's hop into this first step. We have two little nodes here. First is the opening of the step, and then we have the closing of the step. So if I make this slope down, it's almost like we created a pluck. If I were to do the opposite though, let's raise this one and lower the intro. Oops, there we go. We get that swirl that's so famous inside Future Bass and in pad creation. I could choose the retrigger mode, and I could also use the mode if it's free, or if it's synced to my DAW, or the position. We can choose it to loop or turn off the loop, so it would sustain at the very end of the loop. I can choose the start and the end, so if I speed this up, we can say, hey, we want it to repeat after the fourth step. Or maybe the eighth step. So now if I add a modulation over here, we're going to be able to hear that. Whereas if I had it in the 4 steps, we only hear these first 4. Here's a really cool tip. If I click on a certain parameter or a certain step, I can multiply the amounts of oscillations that step is going to take. So let me slow this down for a second. Let's go over here and let's select 4. And let's bring this down. Let's go back to this one and let's set it to 2. Let's go ahead and automate a few different things here. Let's automate the cutoff. So I'm going to click on the cutoff, go to the automation or multi-link to controllers, right click and select create automation clip. And now we have an automation clip created. I'm going to copy and paste the filter location to the filter cutoff position to the drop, and I'm going to modulate a few times before the drop. But yeah, there you go. That's basically how you use Spire's stepper, Arpeggiator, also the new undo and the browser history, and the new browser that's inside Spire. So we learned quite a bit today, and we also made a beat using the default patches within Spire, which is really amazing that within 2-3 minutes we can create our own kit using Spire. And then within a few more minutes, we're done making a beat. I hope you guys enjoyed the track, or the lesson, I should say, and that you guys learned a lot from it. Once again, check the chat below to see if you're able to win any of the goodies we're giving out here at IMSTA FESTA. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on any of the upcoming IMSTA FESTA videos or the IMSTA classes that we're putting out with Grammy Award-winning engineers and music producers and other audio educators like myself. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Once again, I'm Kevin Ochoa, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.